Hello everybody, it's Toddy here for Toddy's Digs and metaldetectingscotland.co.uk. It's just a wee report on the machine that I've been using for the last couple of months. We're right next to a road, but I've been using the Minelab Equinox for 2 months exclusively to familiarise myself with the machine, because I don't like commenting on a machine unless I've used it quite a lot, and that's what I've done. I do 2 digs a week and I'm out twice a week with it, talking to different people. I've used every Minelab since Minelab started making the machines. I've used it right back to the early Sovereigns, all the way through. I've used them exclusively. I've sold Minelab machines away back at all the rallies down in England, Central Searchers, Northern England Weekend Searchers. I was a Minelab authorised dealer, so I know Minelabs and I know other machines like your Whites, all the Whites. I come from a Whites background using them. Also to Sorrow, as I say, I've used every machine. I've been a machine fanatic for years. So when Minelab says it will make all other machines obsolete, I think that was a bit of a bold claim. I think the day just begun with the day's finds. The Garrett Ace 250 made the find of the day, and I see that week in and week out at my digs. It's wee Garretts, machines at a couple of £100 that make the finds, because people have got a good positive attitude and they learn the machines and they find the stuff. So I think it's a bit of a bold claim. And you've no got to walk over it. I hear people saying you've got to walk over it to find it. I stopped saying that. I stopped people saying that to me years ago, because when you really understand about metal detecting, you'll understand that your machine's got to see it. A guy with a machine with a maximum depth capacity on a hammered at 6 inches will only see it at 6 inches. But a guy, for saying sake, with a CTX will blast that coin at 10 inches. Probably. So how have you got to, the guy at 6 inches, if it's 7 inches, he's walked out it and missed it. And the guy with the CTX or any other top of the range machine walks out it and hits it. So that's only part of the story. So your machine has got to see it first. You've got to walk over it, aye, but if your machine's not deep enough to see the coin, then you've walked over it and not found it. So that's another wee thing that I keep seeing getting through up, and it's a lot of rubbish. So back onto the Equinox. Right away, Jim Solas, who runs the Minelab Equinox, the International Minelab Equinox Owners, look that up. It's got nearly 6,000 members, probably more. Jim let me try his Equinox when it first came out, and I wasn't really that impressed. I felt like it was just like a souped up Xterra, and it's got a lot of similarities to the Xterra. But again, it was a machine I liked. But I was a wee bit disappointed it didn't have the tones like the CTX, multi-frequency tones, what do you call them? Oh, bloody hell. The full tones. It didn't have the tones that I like that you would get in an Explorer, an E-Track. It didn't have that type of target. So I never bothered with it. It was out for a good wee while, and then I never bothered with it because I really didn't like the sounds of it. And I didn't think it had as many features as I was hoping. But later on, my mate Rab got a an Equinox, and I says, right, let me have another wee shot at it. So I spent the day using it, and I went through all the settings, and most of the tones I didn't really like. I thought they were kind of spitty and poppy. And I stumbled across the prospecting mode, and instantly, bang, it was the sounds that I like. It was woo woo VCO sound. So I started tweaking about, and I started using it in prospecting, and I've been using it in prospecting. I've been out and bought an Equinox, and I've been using it in prospecting for 2 months solid. And to me, it's the deepest, the hottest program you'll use for a Minelab Equinox. So if you're using part 1 or field 1 and 2, I've tested it on my ground, side by side with other Equinox users, target for target, and it will hit harder on the smaller stuff consistently. So if you've got a site that's produces a lot of small hammies, cut half, stators, Saxon Sceats and things like that, get yourself an Equinox with the big coil, put it in prospecting mode, disc up to +1, but if you're looking for wee tiny stuff, I would drop it down so that you're maybe just discing out a wee bit of iron. Dig everything over +2, right? Dig every single two-way signal over +2 and you'll find yourself tiny deep stuff. This is mega deep, and it will find the wee stuff that honestly you'll think you've done the field to death, and go over it with this mode, with the big coil, even if you can't afford the big coil, the stock coil and prospecting mode. And you can hear it here. This is, let's see, we got a wee coin I found today. Let's see. I'll find everything, big stuff, small stuff. So it's, don't believe any hype that there's a musket ball that I'll only find wee stuff. At Disney I've used it, I've found everything, giant stuff, wee stuff, cans, cartwheel pennies. I'll put that up there so you hear it, listen. And a wee tip is run the recovery speed, the sweep, between 5 and 6. When you start dropping it down lower, it starts amplifying the sound of the tiny small stuff. So you see that's rapid, you don't need much more than that. That's your faint stuff. The way I set it up is a disc, just for general searching, I put my disc up to +1, right? But what I will warn you is, some targets, you hear it kind of spitting and popping. If you're not sure, flick it into all metal, by just hitting the horseshoe, flick it into all metal, and if it gives you a good hit and it stays out the minus, dig it. Okay, if it's hitting minus and it's jumping and it's hitting minus, just forget it and walk away and put it back on to discriminate. So I run it discing up to 1. As I say, I go for all metal to that to check the targets. The next thing I do is I put my threshold at 3, I put my sounds at 25 and I turn them down a wee bit in my headphones. If it's too loud you can turn it down. So I turn the machine on, noise cancel. Find a clean bit of ground, I manually ground balance it with pumping it, and I don't put tracking on, I leave the tracking off. If it's a nice clean field, tracking off's fine. The reason you leave tracking off is because when you track over a bit of iron or a bit of coke, your machine will track into it thinking it's a bit of ground. So just imagine your tracking's at 20, 20, 20, and then it goes over a bit of iron. Just for saying so, it'll jump up to 60, and then it passes iron, it'll jump back down to 20, because the auto track will bring it back down. So if there's loads of iron, the machine's constantly chasing itself trying to find ground, because it thinks the metal is ground. So what it does, if you ground balance it in a nice clean bit of ground, with no metal, once it's set, lock it, so turning the auto track off, and then when it goes over a bit of iron, the machine will no change it and it'll no hunt for a setting, it'll just stay at 20. So lock your tracking. So we've noise cancelled, we've ground balance, we've put it into disc, we've put our volume to 25, and what else we got? Your sweep speed 5 or 6, it depends, but 5, I run mine at 5 most of the time. And go and enjoy detecting. Dig every faint signal, dig everything over 2, every single target over 2, and keep it nice and close to the ground and sweep it. And I'll guarantee you, if you've hunted out sites that's got nice wee hammies and nice stuff on it, go back at it with this mode and you won't stop digging. You'll not stop digging. So that's for me, Toddy Irvin, that's been using Minelabs for years and years and years, and I don't just make statements for the sake of it. I'm telling you, this is probably one of the hottest programs in the UK for hammered coins. I'll guarantee you there'll not be another programme that will beat it. That is the hottest programme in the UK for hammered coins, and you heard it first at Toddy's Digs, metaldetectingscotland.co.uk. It's fantastic. Look into my website, there'll be tons of stuff going up about machines and loads of other tips. So there you go, a wee 10-minute tip. Set it up the way I showed you. If you're getting bothered with your sensitivity, don't try and run it too hot. If it's too chittery and spitting and popping all the time, don't be afraid to drop it down. I start mine at 15 and then just gradually stick it up one at a time. You'll notice when it starts getting erratic, it will start spitting and popping and giving you false signals. You don't want that. You want it nice and smooth, nice and easy. Alright, so I hope you've enjoyed this wee tip. I hope you have great success with it. Remember, you heard it first for Toddy Irvin at Toddy's Digs. Over and out.